In a quiet forest outside Seattle, there stands a tree that began its life before the age of empires. A living witness to 5 centuries of sun and rain. This is not just a bonsai. It's a memory carved by time, a story still alive. Every curve, every scar on this trunk tells a story older than modern nations. Once rooted in the mountains of Korea, this yew has crossed oceans and centuries to rest here in the Pacific Bonsai Museum. It has outlived kings, wars, and generations of caretakers. Yet it continues to grow, quietly, deliberately, as if time itself has learned to slow down in its presence. This is the oldest bonsai in America, a guardian of time and art. But to truly understand its story, we must first understand the place that shelters it. Next, the Pacific Bonsai Museum, where living trees become timeless art. The Pacific Bonsai Museum began not as a museum, but as a vision. In 1989, the Weyerhaeuser Company founded what was then called the Pacific Rim Bonsai Collection, a quiet sanctuary built to showcase the art of miniature trees from across Asia and the Americas. When the company changed hands, the collection could have been lost. But in 2013, a non-profit foundation took over, preserving not only the trees, but the idea that bonsai belongs to everyone. Today, it remains one of the few museums in the world dedicated entirely to bonsai, open to the public, sustained by passion and donation. Here, the exhibits are not objects. They breathe. They grow. As the museum says, we are a museum of living art, where trees are the artwork. Each bonsai tells the story of its homeland. Japan's refined harmony, Korea's resilience, Taiwan's balance between chaos and calm, and America's experimentation and freedom. These trees are living timelines, each one shaped by both nature and human care. Unlike paintings or sculptures, bonsai never truly finish. They evolve, season by season, autumn colors, winter silhouettes, spring growth. That's what makes this museum unique. It doesn't display art. It nurtures it. Among these living works stands one that defies time itself. A tree older than the museum, older than the country it now lives in. Born in the mountains of Korea, shaped by generations. It now guards this garden of living history. The Korean Yew, the oldest bonsai of the Pacific Bonsai Museum. Deep within the temperate forests of East Asia grows a species that defies time, Taxus cuspidata, the Korean yew. Known for its slow growth, dense evergreen needles, and powerful resistance to decay, this tree can live for centuries, even millennia. In Korea and Japan, the yew has long been seen as a guardian tree, one that endures cold winters, harsh winds, and still stands firm. Its wood is strong, yet its growth is deliberate, almost meditative, like the hand of time itself carving patience into its rings. The Korean Yew at the Pacific Bonsai Museum began its life long before the modern world took shape, believed to have rooted around the year 1500. For centuries, it stood in the Korean highlands, shaped by wind, snow, and silence. Eventually, it found its way into the care of Master Su Hyung Yoo, a bonsai artist known for preserving ancient specimens. Under his care, the wild mountain tree was gradually refined, not forced into beauty, but guided toward harmony. In 1986, this living sculpture crossed the ocean to become part of the Pacific Rim Bonsai Collection, now the Pacific Bonsai Museum. It arrived not just as a plant, but as a vessel of Korean history, carrying within its fibers the quiet memory of centuries. The yew teaches us that endurance is not about resistance, it's about adaptation. Each ring in its trunk records not struggle, but survival. As it continues to grow in American soil, the Korean yew stands as a bridge between cultures, between centuries, between the wild and the human hand. And in that stillness, we are reminded that time itself can be art. To understand its present form, we must see how the museum shaped it, and how this ancient tree became a teacher of patience. In the mid-1980s, a quiet exchange took place between two nations, one rooted in centuries of bonsai tradition, the other beginning to recognize the art as living heritage. Korean bonsai master Su Hyung Yoo made a decision that would extend his legacy far beyond his homeland. He donated one of his most treasured trees, a Taxus cuspidata, believed to be over 5 centuries old, to the newly formed Pacific Rim Bonsai Collection in Washington state. The year was 1986. The yew was already mature, shaped by decades of care, and in its branches carried the rhythm of Korean mountains. This act of giving was more than generosity, it was a gesture of trust, bridging art, time, and humanity. Upon its arrival, the Korean yew became one of the first international trees in the Pacific Rim Bonsai Collection, the institution that would later evolve into today's Pacific Bonsai Museum. At that time, the museum was privately funded by the Weyerhaeuser Company, envisioned as a place where living art could thrive outside traditional walls. The yew was carefully acclimated to the Pacific Northwest's cool, moist climate, not unlike its native Korean highlands. Bonsai curators monitored its soil, humidity, and light balance with precision. Each adaptation was both science and philosophy, ensuring that an ancient tree could breathe in a new land without losing its spirit. It wasn't just a transplant of roots, it was a continuation of soul. Today, the Korean yew stands as the oldest bonsai in the Pacific Bonsai Museum. What began as a private treasure is now a shared legacy, a guardian of time open to all who visit. The museum's philosophy remains clear, to preserve not only trees, but the stories and cultures they carry. Visitors don't just see a bonsai, they witness a collaboration across generations and continents. Every branch whispers both Korean craftsmanship and American stewardship. The Korean yew reminds us that preservation isn't about keeping something frozen in time, it's about keeping it alive. In a world obsessed with speed, this tree stands as quiet rebellion. While everything around us rushes toward progress, it simply endures. Every scar on its bark, every twist of its branch, is proof that time is not an enemy, but a teacher. Patience, not haste, is what shapes true beauty. What keeps a bonsai like this alive for 500 years isn't just care, it's devotion. Generations of hands have shaped, pruned, and protected it. Through wars, storms, and decades of change, the tree continues, not because it must, but because someone believed it should. Each caretaker becomes part of its story, part of its time. Every rare bonsai tells a story of survival, of patience, of the bond between art and life. And this Korean yew is only the beginning. Across the world, there are trees even older, rarer, and wiser waiting to be rediscovered. So, if you believe time can be art, stay with us. Subscribe for more stories of rare bonsai and lost trees, only on Ethereal Bonsai.